Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video, and today is a bit more standard. It's just a Huns war, or no, I'm Huns, my opponent is Berbers, but Huns play on Arabia. This bread and butter of Age of Empires 2, for sure. So, as we can see, looking at the maps, I have okay stones. This one's quite forward, I'd say, so that's not the best. I have this gold, a little bit blocked, but quite nice near the back. Quite a wallable base, though. I mean, definitely not bad. Like, I've got woodlands that are all connecting to each other. And yeah, my opponent, again, wall here, wall there, and a wall there. He's got a really good base, actually. Back stone, back gold. And yeah, so let's see how this game pans out. I'm going to speed up. Beginning is very standard. I go 6 to sheep, and I'm going to be going 4 to wood. My opponent, I'm assuming, will do something very similar. And yeah. Scouting, again, pretty normal. Just going around my base, looking for my final 2 sheep before I move on to exploring for my opponent. Bring in my firstborn after 4 sheep. Let's see how many my opponent went for. 4 sheep. Beginning of the game, very, very standard. Exactly what you want to see. Going for the mill. Opponent, going for the mill. Opening so far pretty much identical. Yeah. Both go for the backwood, as you should, away from your opponent. Try and reduce harassment. I'm bringing in my second boar. And my opponent looks like he's quite late on it. Oh no, he's got them both already under. Never mind, sorry. And yeah, so now we're just both exploring for our opponents. I think he finds me a bit sooner. Yeah, he does. So he sees me, he does the right thing, he hugs the tree lines. I'm just kind of being a bit... I did not need those. He wasn't going to attack, but yeah. So I'm just scouting around, continuing to look for my opponent. He's getting a judge on what my base looks like, what you should do. Good play. I see this gold, I realize he's probably going to be here. And... oh, yeah. So he just attacked my villager. I sent 2 over and fixed that rocks. This is actually my first mistake of the game coming up, though. And also, I would say, his first mistake. So, he gets 1 hit, I immediately see. And I managed to micro out. But yeah, I think if he had a bit faster reactions, or if mine were a bit slower, I could have had a dead scout there. I'm not too worried about a scout war, though, because thankfully, I get some hits off with my villagers. He's just trying to be a bit of a pain. It's just normal. And he gets a slightly faster uptime. He went 21 pop, obviously, and I went 22. Both fairly normal. I prefer 22 for scouts. You get that extra little bit of economy to kind of back it up. Obviously, he has the stronger scout now, so that was a good play by him. I get to feudal, and I'm going to get my stable out and palisade, so this front area is now walled. So now I just need to hit the rest. And yeah. So I noticed he's just lurking around here. He's probably looking, thinking that my stable's going to come up around that area, which isn't a bad idea. But I put it here. I knew where his scout was, so I didn't want him to see. It was pretty obvious what I was doing, but yeah. My opponent doing standard play, going for scouts. Looks like he's been housed. And yeah, nothing too crazy so far. Nothing out of the ordinary. Spearman kills his scout, which is pretty nice. And yeah. Not too much going on at the moment. I bring my villager out here. My plan is to wall off here. I bring the scout back, and I'm going to wall down. I also send my spear forward, see if I can see anything. While I build up my army at home. He's obviously getting ready. He'll probably attack once he's on 3. So I see this. And then I think do I? I thought I saw the stable. Oh no, I see the scouts, so then I know he's going scouts. So I'm like, okay. At this point, for some reason, I actually think I have more, which is a bit silly, because definitely don't. Or I shouldn't, but I do. He wasn't producing enough, that's what that tells me. And yeah, so I get in here. I'd be a little bit of a pain. And he sees this. I see the scouts there, move my villager back, 99% on the wall. And yeah, some kind of weird micro here. I try and get another pick off, try and move his spear over there, but he sees this. I get that kill, and then I'm like, okay, got my damage here. His scout's sitting here. He's eventually going to hit these berries. I don't know where they are, because they haven't been showing up on my mini-map soon. Let's see what my reaction times. So obviously I'm looking at my eco at this point, or I wouldn't have just taken bad hits on there. But yeah, so I send my scout back. Still don't see his, and then there we go. Now I know they're here. No reaction, I must not have been looking. Oh yeah, and I decided to engage here. I knew I had a spear coming. I'm probably only going to lose one villager. One villager for one scout, not the end of the world. And I've got 2 spears there to defend this kind of area now. At the same time, I've moved my scouts out over here, preparing for another counterattack. Takes me a minute though. And in the meantime, building up the wall on the bottom side of this part of the base, and bringing up my first archer range. Now initially I was actually planning on going archers, but as you'll see, this plan slowly changes with the game. Yeah, so I lose 2 scouts there probably unnecessarily, and then I'm just trying to trade off, get as much harassment in as I can. Any villager kills. Probably more effective would have been to hit and run, keep his economy idle for a bit longer, but wasn't the worst play. Definitely not the worst play. I lose my scouts there. And yeah, so I keep building some though, because I'm not walled. I don't know where the damage is coming. I'm gonna wall across the front. He obviously gets this villager pick here. Yeah, I react by sending my 2 scouts, full health. This just turns into a little chase. We go up the map to around there, and yeah. Let's look at some statistics. So, I'm actually up in villagers by 4. So obviously I've had the better harassment so far, and maybe he's had a bit of idle time on his TC, I don't know. But I've definitely had a few more villager pickoffs. Again, I'm walling off the back of the base. I'm going to wall here. I'm keeping my spear here as the only unprotected area, or will be the only unprotected area once this wall is up here. And yeah, so let's follow the scout battle. I focused on that one, and yeah, it's just standard trade. Not too much to say about that. At this point, where I see like I'm basically going to be fully walled, I stop army production. I don't go for archers. Instead, I'm going to put a markup up here. There we go. And I'm going to be looking towards Castle Age. My opponent also fully walls, switching to archer range himself, and he is going to be going for crossbows in Castle Age. So, pretty standard opening, I'd say. Little aggression, mainly because we walled, and yeah, I think not too bad by either of us so far. Nothing too crazy to say, score is quite even. Yeah. The scouting is generally what you'd expect at this point. So yeah, obviously with Huns getting the really cheap cavalry archers, and the fact that I've already done both lines, it makes sense for me not to mass up archers right now. Kind of leaves me a bit vulnerable. This is the one part of the game I'd say I'm quite vulnerable. He would have kept making army. I think he could have ended this game pretty fast. Like, put a tower like back here, throwing me off this, go through there, throw towers everywhere, just be as an like I would have had to resign, I think. But that's not the strategy he went for. He actually goes for the same thing I'm going for. Again, I could have probably done the same thing, put a tower there on his wood line, maybe another one back there, and yeah, just tried to be as much of a pain as possible. I don't like this. I think he should have put a palisade behind that relic, because obviously I can make a monk and relic off that in castle, but yeah. So we're both going up. My castle time's a little bit faster, which is good. Obviously, maybe part of that is because I sold off 200 of my stone. He's kept his stone, obviously. I did this because I planned on doing one TC play, kind of all in harassment. I wanted a fast-paced, action-based, game. And my plan is to go for archery range, cavalry archer production, just try and maintain it best I can. I do have one eye on the late game, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send one villager over. I think I send 2 or 3 later to get stone to eventually move towards TCs, but that's my only investment so far. Everything else, yep, I've got padded archer armor and fletching, and yeah, just making my lumber camp a bit more efficient, and then I'm going to average. Same time, my opponent kind of just sitting in his base, not doing too much, massing up his archers, getting ready to go crossbows and make an attack. I actually, because we're both walled and there's not much information, I just assumed that he's booming. He's going to go 3 TC, boom, mangonel defense, something like that. I totally expect him to know that I'm going to be going cav arch. It's pretty standard meta for Huns. I mean, this Huns on Arabia is the oldest trick in the book, right? I bring my scout past here. I see that the archery range is empty, so I have no information about what he's doing. Obviously, he's sending his archers forward, but at this point, I already think my army should be his. He does, however, have only fletching, but he has +1 armor. I have bodkin arrow and 1 armor, and then obviously I lose my spear here, so I know where he is. I'm going to change that spawn to here, and I just keep massing up. I should also note that I got the faster moving husbandry. Yeah, I got husbandry really quick. This is something really interesting. So there was a hole somewhere in his wall, and I bring my scout back in here. I actually forget about him for a while. I think it would have been useful for me to like move around, check if there was anything, but ended up not being too big a deciding factor. Obviously, I have 15 cav arch with the technology advantage. I get on the hill and I just kind of eat these. He actually does a little bit of good micro here. But with my faster moving and everything, I kind of surround them, make it so that the micro won't work. As you can see, I try and... I'm not paying attention to this because I know I'm just going to win. Trades are going to be good, and I just keep developing my economy in the background, keep production going, and yeah. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, that was his little attack to make sure. It's kind of like you have to kind of do that just to make sure your opponent's not doing anything. I'm expecting 3 TC though. I'm expecting TC, TC. You know what I mean? So when I come, it's gonna be a lot of hit and run, but I'm gonna have quite a big military advantage. What I didn't expect is he was also going 1 TC. So now he's going to be going knights and crossbows. He kind of wasted his crossbows though, and now the military advantage is firmly in my favor. And as you can see, I get here. He fixed his wall. Obviously, I can't get in. But I make quick work of this palisade wall. And as you can see, like I said, with those 2 on stone, managed to get my second TC up, which is pretty nice. So at this point in the game, like the score says it pretty well here. I've got military advantage, got economic advantage. Just need to kind of wait till it's over now. We get some cool battles though. I kill the knight, the spears. And here I'm just trading because I know with 70 hit points and his 35, like I have double the hit points. I'm going to win this fight quite comfortably. So I move some over here for harassment. Obviously this is something I need to work on. Should never have came under here. But that's just because for multitasking. Yeah, I've got lots of villagers coming out pumping. I've got cav arch production, not too bad. It's actually quite bad. Should be coming out of him as well. All coming to here. This is something that went really well for me. So at this point I was like, I don't need to take any crazy engagements. I just need to basically be as much of a pain to him as I can. And that's what I do. So I just sit some here. I'm running around with these guys at the back. He doesn't really know where his army's at. All these are idle. He's got farmers that are idle. He's trying to fix everything at the same time. I'm building up economy with more TCs in the back than him. And I've got the military advantage. It would be a struggle for him to get back into this game now. And obviously, I'm just trying to get the best engagements I can. Not fighting if I don't have to. And I've got one eye on my economy at home, so nothing too crazy. So yeah, this is kind of a silly little mistake. I just need to delete that palisade, make this really quick. Obviously, they have to walk to the gate all the way around here to get to this now, but that's okay. So I just keep running cavalry. And obviously his crossbows don't know where to be, because he's going to come down to try and deal with this. And then he's like, oh crap, they're up there. And yeah, I get some villager picks here. I move this back. And he's like, okay, move down again. The thing is as well, I can beat this army. I just don't need to engage. And I've got so many more cavalry coming in. Now, even at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty comfortable in this game. But I still assume, right, he must have TCs over here. Like, that just must be where his economy's been developing, because his army's quite lackluster for this point in the game. I think what happened is, I don't think I realized how much my scouts did at the beginning of the game, and I don't think I realized how important killing his first initial crossbow attack was. The economic lead I got from killing those, and the resources I got from the extra working villagers on top of killing his first army, really gave me quite an edge in this game. And then it was just kind of like a cleanup from there. And yeah, so I just continue harassing, keep developing. Got another TC coming out, so I'm going to have 4 TCs working to his 1. Look at this. Half of his economy is idle right now. It's, yeah, it's not the best. If we actually look, villages, I'm on 74 to his 46. With a superior army, it's going to be quite difficult. And he has so much idle time as well, right? And obviously, I've got the resources for Imp. Probably could have got it quite a while ago with that much wood stored. And yeah, the game's been over for a while though. I think what I want to take away from this is my micromanagement can definitely be better. So moving between economy and to here. But overall, obviously I'm quite happy with the game. I won, so yeah. Let's look at the statistics. So I got 70 kills to his 42. I had a larger army. More food, more wood, stone, and gold. Obviously my economy was bigger. I had more villagers, so it makes sense. And I got the earlier harassment, and so it's been working for longer. He went on the 21 pop, I went on the 22. Nothing too crazy to talk about there. Yeah, everything else is pretty standard. Obviously, that's to do with the TC. And yeah, after Castle Age, you kind of see the defeat happening quite fast. I didn't realize how many more villages I had. I don't know if that's to do with the scouts. I think it actually is. But yeah. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any constructive criticism, please leave it in the comments section down below, or anything else. Yeah, if you have any ideas or anything you want me to do, please let me know. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.